Hey man, I do what I do.
Didn't know what they were doing. We want to allow them to plead the benefit of ignorance. Oh no, they didn't know what they were doing. And I'm telling you, yes, they did know what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they did it. And they did it anyway because they wanted the money. They did it for the money. That's what I'm trying to tell you, brothers and sisters. And until you guys begin to accept that, you will not get the justice that you deserve, because you won't have everybody involved in the horrendous crimes that were perpetrated upon you and our ancestors. That's what I'm saying. You need to begin to go ahead and grow up and accept it for what it is, period. Stop living in this fantasy world. Stop doing that to yourselves. You're lying to yourselves. It's time to stop now. We need to become a more mature people. This is the 11th hour, period, brothers. Now cut it out. Let's continue watching.
They were prisoners. We have the condemned cell where turbulent slaves were kept. And a lot of them were turbulent because, I mean, if you live in your country and somebody comes out here and takes you into captivity, you wouldn't take kindly to that.
Slaves were packed into every space. They could be trapped here for months. There were only two ways out: to the sea and the slave ships, or to the graveyard.
They had to go to the bathroom in the dungeons. They were fed in the dungeons. Their whole life was in the dungeons, and that was very uncomfortable, very unhealthy. There could be some epidemics, no windows. They really were confined to those little rooms.
The forts became a byword for cruelty and rape. The Europeans' moral restraint evaporated under the African sun.
Most of the colonial officials who came onto the coast came without their wives. So most of them became mistresses. They doubled up as domestic servants, as mistresses, concubines for these officials.
So basically what that's telling you is some of the lovely ladies said not only were they were concubines, mistresses, these white men came down there with no wives. They had no wives with them. So what were they doing? They was messing around with the African women, period. That was what was going on. And you can't tell me that those lovely ladies, many of them didn't volunteer for the job. I just refuse to believe that also. I believe that they played a part and they knew exactly what they were doing, period. So let's continue watching. Now it's going to get even more uncomfortable for you all, because I'm basically going to tell you that a lot of our sisters, our lovely African queens, godmothers, mother goddesses, they played a part in this. They helped facilitate it. They cooked for them. They kept them safe. They adopted them adopted these white European slave owners into the family, kept them clean. Remember, they didn't have anywhere to stay. Where do you think they were going to stay? Huh? They wasn't traipsing off into the hinterland. They wasn't going inland. They were sitting at the castle with their concubine, that African concubine princess and queens with them. Let's keep listening. This is going to get painful for y'all.
For some of the female slaves who lived in the dungeons, the governor saw, inverted commas, some of the female slaves. And when they were found pregnant, if they were lucky, they were set free.
The Europeans had no shame about declaring their conquests. In Cape Coast, families still carry names like Gonzalez, Coleman, Frith, and De Silva.
You had the European merchants intermarrying or having local African women, and their offspring, called the mulattoes, also growing in number. As the slaves were brought in, not everybody was sold and shipped up. Some remained. And so one would see a kind of a cosmopolitan life growing along the coast.
I don't.
The West Africans tolerated.
I don't think that registered to you all, what that man just said. A kind of cosmopolitan life was growing on along the coast. That means we out here making money. I got this European man, I got this baby. He didn't let me go free because I got his kids for him. Translate the fact, let's fast forward to 2021. My man, I got a baby, he buying me Birkin bags. Yeah, you know, he's shipping the Africans over, but you know, I'm good. The whole west coast of Africa, right? Cosmopolitan lifestyle. Slavery has brought in, the capture of other Africans has brought all kind of wealth and money and riches to the west coast of Africa, which was otherwise at that time poor and broken. So it was because of our capture and enslavement that other Africans became rich. People personally benefited from it. It was greed, family. They didn't give a hot damn what happened to you after you got on that ship, as long as they got paid. That's what I'm trying to tell you all. Family, this is what I'm saying. And so when it comes to the question of who owes us reparations, all of them do. Those European countries, those African countries, those African families, those European families, they all owe us money. And I'm gonna give you something else. Very soon, we're gonna talk about the Black Americans who also had slaves in the United States. We're gonna talk about them too, because they are part and parcel, not only the American families, the white families, but the Black American families that held slaves in the dozens, in the hundreds. Everybody has to pay. This is where we at. If we're gonna file suit, if we're gonna be serious about it, we can't hold back. Everybody's got to pay. We need our money.
The traders' brutality because European military backing gave them power, and they needed to import cheap brass and iron tools for farming and cooking. The Africans were always hunting for a better deal. It was the small English town of Bristol which offered that deal.
Okay, now we're back. We're back to the Africans were always looking for a better deal. They needed their farming tools and their pots and their pans. And so what happened? Little town of Bristol, right? Little town of Bristol is up here in England. They got these manufacturers. We can do this. We can make these little widgets and gadgets, and we can sell them to these Africans, and these Africans can give us money and blah, blah, blah. And they'll go over there to Europe with those Africans, go to the Caribbean with those Africans, sell them, get sugar cane, tobacco, bring it back to England, and we'll all get rich. That's basically what's happening. This is the triangle. Get the likes up. I hope you're uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you need to hit the like button, because more people need to feel like this. We all need to get on the same page. Y'all serious about reparations? Well, I'm here now. Let's talk about it. Let's get the conversation going, but let's have an honest conversation. See, I'm one of those lawyers that's gonna tell you, you know what? Either you can take this deal and get 15 years, or you can risk the chance of going to jail and be there for 100 years. Choice is yours. 5 o'clock, I'm going home. But you're gonna pay me anyway. Questions? Yeah, I know you don't like that, but I'm the perfect person to deliver this conversation to you, because I don't care about your feelings. I'm telling you, as a trial lawyer, especially a civil litigation attorney, if you're representing a plaintiff, you need to figure out each and every person who might be responsible for the harm caused to your client. And if I'm looking at this as a lawyer determining, well, who owes us African Americans, American descendants of slaves, foundational Black Americans, who owes us reparations? Who's responsible? Well, I can't sue the buyer without suing the seller, right? I can't sue the purchaser in slavery without suing the kidnapper. Right? That makes no sense. You're missing somebody. You got to figure out who's more responsible. Maybe 20% his fault, 80% his fault. I don't know, but everybody got to pay is the thing. This is where we at. And the reason this is so upsetting to me is because, like many of you, I've heard hints of this, and throughout, I'm a 46-year-old man, and no African scholar has ever really broke it down to me like this. And I'm a lawyer. And I'm looking at it. This is what's upsetting to me. because our African scholars have not been honest with us. Our so-called Black Power Africa, they have not been honest with us. They have not broken, they have not told us the truth as Black men and women. And it's unfortunate, but you know, that's why we have to lead ourselves, and don't worry about no damn leaders. But let's go ahead and continue.
DennisSpurling got the mic on fire.
Black father, I have black son.
Tune in, weekly feeling inspired. From the heart, real talk ignite. Every episode brings the light. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins, enjoy the ride. Come say hi, catch the wave, don't pass by. Let the spirit's always inside. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins.
Donation. I thought it was a track.
Hey man, I do what I do.
You know that.
Your ass, class, don't come over here. You tall black mother. Women up inside. I don't give a fuck about